Welcome, Market Junkies, to the Market Junkie Finance channel. On here, we will talk stocks, options, crypto, the economy, Federal Reserve, gold, forex, and much more. It'll be my buddy and I, so don't be alarmed if you hear two voices. So before we get into it, I want to remind you that we are merely expressing our opinions, and anything we say on this should not be taken as financial advice. Always do your own research. So with that being said, let's begin. Alright guys, well today is the 17th and it is 11 p.m. so this video will also be good for tomorrow. So as you guys may know, Trump just announced some extra tariffs on China. Say it, China.
China.
So what's going to happen is 10% tariffs and by the end of the year 25% tariffs. And if China does decide to retaliate, then Trump will add on extra tariffs. So, with that being said, the market's only down 0.10%, the S&P and NASDAQ. So, it's quite a muted reaction. I don't know what's exactly going to happen tomorrow, but I don't know. To be honest, the main move is going to happen if China retaliates with something back. So, right now, China's barely, they're flat right now. They're open. And the Nikkei is actually up 1%. So, that's quite interesting. Don't you say?
Yeah, so if you guys look at the Nikkei here, just a quick technical...
Oh, wait. Before we start that, today Elon Musk just announced something for SpaceX. Did you catch the news?
Oh, I did catch the news. Can you go ahead and announce it?
Maezawa, Yusaku, I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that correctly, he's a billionaire from Japan. He will be going to the moon on a rocket called the BFR.
One moon.
Okay, so the thing is, the average distance from the Earth to the moon is about 237,000 miles. That's quite large. And no one has been there since the Apollo mission in 1972. So
and that's quite long.
Is going to be great. And Musk just tweeted that he might be bringing 8 people along with him. Not Musk himself, but the billionaire.
Yeah, I did see he's going to try to bring some artists with him, so maybe they're going to get some cool paintings from that.
Right, you never know. So I wish them well, and hopefully they return safely.
Yeah, maybe that's some good bullish news, taking the markets higher.
All right, so let's proceed.
Anyways, yeah, so like you were saying, the Asian markets actually here, when Trump announced the tariffs, we had a quick, actually he turned out it's 4 o'clock. So
yeah,
when Trump announced the tariffs, we had a huge pin bar out of this range, which we broke out of. Clearly, you see this here, this high right here, this red line. We bounce off of it, and we are making more highs. The JPN is lagging in terms of comparing it to the U.S. equity markets. U.S. equity markets have broken our high, and we are, staggering up here. Yeah. So I'm expecting the Japanese markets to do something similar, go up here, break above these highs, and then, hover around here, waiting for more highs. So it's pretty interesting how the markets took it like this, meaning from the trade news, the tariff news. It's interesting how the markets are going higher. But if you look at the S&P,
yeah, the S&P was quite interesting. So it dropped around 10 or 11 handles, and now it recovered a bit. Now it's only down 3.
Yeah, so on the S&P on a shorter time frame, I am looking for it to complete, or actually, not really large time frame, but the short-term time frame, medium-term time frame within the next few months. I am expecting the 5th wave to be completed and it to reach around the 3,000 mark, where it'll face some resistance. I will, if you are going to go bearish, you're going to have to wait till this previous, we had this resistance, we broke out of the resistance, and now it is support. So when this red line, which is at 2873, so the 2873,
can you full screen it, by the way?
Yeah, so my bad, the 2873 mark is going to be important. As you can see, the market, until the market breaks below that, please expect it to continue higher. Yeah. If it does come down here, use these opportunities to play the range. And what you're going to want to do is, if it comes down here, which I don't know if it will in the U.S. Open, to the 2870 level, try and go for longs and target 2916, the top of this range. But if it does break down from here, expect the S&P to go to the bottom of this channel that I have here, and go to this price, which is 2846. So
yeah, so like every single tariff headline has been a buying opportunity. Actually, just like every headline in general. Remember when North Korea was shooting those rockets over, and everyone had the joke like, "Oh, that's bullish for the markets. That's bullish for the markets." Just
Yeah.
incredible how resilient this market is.
Yeah. I'm dumbfounded. I mean, I don't even know how, but it just is, I guess. I
I mean,
mean,
corporate earnings are quite strong.
okay, I mean, still very accommodative monetary policy.
I guess the economy is, doing well according to our government. So, do you want to look at the Dow really quickly for me?
Dow Jones.
I mean, that one I would think would get hit quite hard because it has Boeing in it, Caterpillar, all those guys.
So Dow Jones, I would keep on buying it. It's in the same position as the Nikkei was. So remember that high on Nikkei was like right over here, JPN, and we broke out of it just recently. Here we broke out a while ago, and we already retested it. So every time we go into the 25,800 mark, you're going to want to keep on buying that and expect it to reach. Our targets are going to be this high over here, and the S&P is already making more highs, so we're going to expect it to go up here and then like consolidate a little bit and then continue higher.
All right, I'm gonna flip over to my screen and show you some cool stuff.
Cool.
Norfolk Southern, for example. You see my screen, bud?
Yes, sir.
All right, so Norfolk Southern. So it's at around 179.26. So it does have resistance around 180.30 or so. They have been buying the calls quite aggressively, so they're looking for a breakout. The whole sector is quite strong. CSX, you have Union Pacific. So on 913, I'm gonna scroll over here. 913. All right, so on this day, 913, somebody came in and bought 185 December calls in two separate orders, $1 million each. So they're playing for continued upside. And about a month ago, before that, they bought the 175s that expire for this month when the stock was 168 or so. They did quite well. So they're looking for some further upside. You can look at CSX and Union Pacific as well. They're doing quite well. The charts all look similar. And, we talk about, China and everything hurting these guys, but even with all that news and, we know all about it, these stocks have performed quite well. So I'm also going to, okay, you want to add something?
Yeah, I mean,
Let's see.
if we have import or if we have tariffs, like, and U.S. is producing natural resources, and like let's just say we have good X, and usually right now, back in the day we used to buy it from the U.S. and then now we shift to China, but with these tariffs, maybe it's not cost effective to buy it from China, and it'll be cheaper to buy it from the U.S. So it'll require these shipping companies to be more in use in domestically, and that's where
Trains,
they're
baby.
trains,
Trains, everything. All transports. When the economy is doing well, transports do well. Bottom line.
Yep.
So I'm going to
Makes
look
sense.
over here at Momo. Okay, I really love this stock. It's a Chinese stock. The only issue here is obviously the tariff stuff. So, like, when this tariff stuff gets announced, they all come down quite a bit. Usually Baba gets smacked the most. But today, it was quite interesting. When the stock was green, actually, they came in and bought some calls for October. So they bought the 45s and the 50s. So I did buy some of the 50s. I did get them a little early. I'm down like 10% on them. But I'm hoping that this dispute, gets resolved and Momo gets its traction back, because before it was up 4 days in a row. So Momo's one of these stocks that just can move 5% in a day randomly. So I'm hoping that a little chops around a little bit and then breaks a little higher. And I'm targeting around $50.
I mean, yeah, when that day comes, Baba, you're going to see Baba, and you're going to see, JD, you're going to see all these Chinese
Maybe not
stocks,
JD, but
Baidu.
Baba Baidu, yeah. Baba's a good one. So if you had an opportunity to buy Amazon at $700, $800, $900, I think you'd take it, right? So that's
Yeah.
what I honestly think is of Baba. It's quite cheap. It's just getting punished for no reason. Their earnings were quite good, and Baba, like, they have a stronghold on the Chinese market. They're just the number one player over there. They have Ali Cloud. They have all these things going for them. I think it's quite decent. I have it in my Roth, and I'm gonna be holding long. I'll be adding on dips as well.
Very nice.
Yep. So also, Walmart, quite interesting. So they had earnings, right? Stock popped all the way from whatever 91 to 100. Remember that? Like the options went up
Yeah,
so
dude, that was
much.
crazy.
It's
I
like
was in calls for that.
1,000%.
Yeah, dude, it was.
Stock ripped like I don't know, like 10%. That's insane. So ever since then, it's been going steadily down. People are taking their profits and whatnot. I recently got back into the 100 November calls. They're around $1 something, $1.50, I want to say, around there. But reason being is seasonality. So the holiday season's coming up. Thanksgiving and whatnot, and also earnings will be coming up as well. And the earnings were good. The previous earnings were good. So I like a stock that has earnings that were good, and then you get a little dip on them, little pull, and then you get back in. So that's my play on there. And
Yeah.
all retailers, they're doing quite well.
Yep, 100%. I was in Kroger.
Yeah. So next one I want to look at is Novartis. So yeah, today it was quite interesting. I saw some decent buying biotechs in general. So, Novartis did see some yesterday, I believe, or not yesterday, maybe a couple days ago. Novartis did see some 87.50 calls being bought. So I'm hoping for a breakout by October. I did join them on those calls. Chart looks quite good. It's been messing around here for a little bit towards the upper range of the Bollinger Bands. So let's see if it can break out. And my favorite, Mr. Microsoft. I love this stock. I love it. So yeah, dividend tomorrow coming up. So people are actually expecting a higher dividend than before. Company's doing quite well. They have a lot of cash, a lot of things going for them. They're everything's selling quite well. Their cloud business, Azure, doing quite well. So let's see if Microsoft throws us a bone tomorrow. So I did get in the October 115s. Microsoft stock, they've just been, oh man, this every week, just buying. Whatever it's 50K, 100K, whatever it is. For the past, 3, 4, 5 weeks, they just been buying it. So that's my play on that. I was gonna go out to the weeklies, but I decided, market's a little choppy, give it some time. Like during times like this, when the market's really choppy and we're towards the upper range on the market, I am taking less risk up here than I would, down here, obviously, because you can easily get a pull and just easily get washed out with options. But I did take some Octobers to give it some time. Rush, like if the market, like tomorrow, for example, on a tariff headline, you don't want to get crushed. And then lastly, I'm going to talk about Royal Caribbean. Down to go on a cruise, bud?
Oh, yeah. Where do you want to go? Let's go to Jamaica.
Anywhere, man. Depends how this Royal Caribbean does. So CCL, RCL, Norwegian doing quite well. I did buy this on the dip. I did buy the 130s for this week. So it's a really short-term play. I didn't, bet the whole farm on it. Unfortunately, Norwegian and Carnival both did go up. And, of course, I would buy the one that didn't really move. But that's all right. They've been buying this for the past couple days. They were buying it heavily around this when it was 912. So right here, they literally bought it right here, 912 at 124 bucks. Bought the $130 calls in. Look at this, ripping every single. And today it pulled back a little. Watching this resistance over here at like 130.70, and then opened for a move. Looking for a move, not hoping. Looking for a move over here to 135. I don't know the time frame that it will happen. But that's what I'm banking on. Longer term. But short term, I did, obviously add to the 130, 131 calls. See how that goes. And the ex-dividend date is quite soon, so people might be jumping in on there to grab that dividend. The dividend payout is in October. So yeah, that's all I have on these stocks. Do you want to go over anything?
Yeah, I mean, I'll just go over some technicals about these stocks and
Sure.
just
Do you
go
want me to
over.
flip it over your screen, bud?
Yes, please.
All right, bud. All right.
Thank you, bud.
There you go. Full screen it whenever you can.
Yes, sir. All right. So
YouTube.
on Northern or Norfolk Southern. Like you said, we did have a really strong breakout. I'm not really going to focus on that breakout that happened in the past because really can't trade that. But right now we're just in a really big markup phase, and we are in this channel. One thing that I did want to go over is that the Elliott waves from this low right here. I mean, I'd say it's been kind of like it just did a nice little pattern, and it's going for pattern number 2. And as you see here, it's kind of let's just say it's been just chugging. So I'd consider this still wave 1. It's still looking to rise significantly on the shorter time frame. Maybe you could do something like this, that this is the 5th exhaustion wave and that it may break down from here.
Can you
But
zoom in on that if you mind?
yeah, but the way I'm going to play this is let me go on the shorter time frame because this is on the shorter time frame. So we are still in this channel, and until this channel officially breaks this middle band, I really won't be looking to go short to the bottom of the channel. But it's holding as support right now, and it is respecting this previous breakout, this blue line that I have here, and it did the same thing before.
Can you full screen it? Thanks.
Yeah, it did the same thing before. But if Norfolk Southern does, maybe if it has a hard time breaking this 180 level, if it rejects it, if it goes up there and rejects it and comes down back in here, I'll be looking for it to go back down to the 176 level where I'll pick up more shares and target more highs from 184 because the risk to reward is just on our side.
Yeah, I'm loving the risk reward, especially if we get some like deal with China and everything's doing well and the economy's doing well and yada yada yada, this and that. I think we got some new highs coming in, like some really really new highs.
Yeah, definitely. It's still looking super bullish in this current range. We did like have this order block right here, and we respected it. So if it does come back in the short term and hold 178, 179, you see flow getting in the name, then definitely like get in there and target the top of the channel first, right over here, and then after that you're gonna want to target breakout. And the stock's been running hard, so it's a good momentum play. In terms of Momo, on the longer time frame, I like
Momo.
I'd like to buy Momo if like right now we're in this really good head and shoulders pattern, and basically until we break this 47 level, I really wouldn't be trying to go long. But at the same time, if this 41 range, if this 41 price point holds and we come back down into here, then I would look to accumulate and look for it to continue up and break out. So I wanted to do something like this, go a little lower where my risk to reward would be better, where it gapped up here. And that's an order block there. So when it comes back down in there, if it holds that key price point, and that's where I look to accumulate Momo.
All about China. You look at Baba, like Baba's coming in and gonna get that low at 153. You might test it. Yeah, I think I'm gonna look to add more around there if it does test it. And maybe I'll pick some up tomorrow.
Okay, Baba's the best place to buy Baba is right here.
That's what it feels like, yeah.
150. I bet it'll hold 150 real nice and then just continue to bounce from there and then break out of this, like something like this.
Yeah. This is absolute madness right now. Just even on the talks, it's just getting almost.
Yeah, 3, 4, 5. It is in its 5th wave, so definitely look for some exhaustion to come down. 5th wave, let me just give you a better representation. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So now we're gonna want some sort of like ABCD pattern. We have A here, B there, but we're gonna have to see where how it can, like, we're gonna want basically it just maybe take its time and then break out and then do something like this, and then it will do this, I can assure you. And then yeah, check it out at 210. So that's what I'm looking at on Baba. Another cool one, or actually another one that's been very volatile in the recent.
Yeah, that's a hot talk of the town.
AMD. So AMD.
Shout out to my Robinhood traders. All you guys are probably in an AMD.
Oh yeah, you guys are probably in AMD. AMD had a strong breakout, and it's really just chugging hard. It's got, I think like.
Okay, yeah. I know you're a super bull on it. Right, you are a bull. You've been calling it since like $12. Like you said to me that it was going to 20, 25 bucks, and I just laughed my ass off.
He laughed at me. He laughed.
Like, no way. I thought this guy was drunk.
Yeah, when AMD was right here ranging hard, and then when it
Yeah.
started to chug up, I was like, guys, it's time, it's time. And then they were still like, no, AMD's not doing anything. And then boom, 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 and then guess what this guy said to me? Guess what this junkie said to me the other day? He says he wants to short AMD.
Oh,
He
I'm
wants to
going to.
short it. And
Once
then
it
now,
gets to like 35 or so, I'm shorting it.
yeah, he wants to short it. Just look at this guy, man. He's crazy. Like
Dude.
we need all the bulls to just come together and roast him. But it is a good point to take profit. I mean, if you
Dude,
bought at $10 a
it
share,
seems like
where they
it is.
accumulated heavily, $10 is a psychological price point. As you can see here, $10 held one, two, not three times, four times, and we bounced off of that heavily. So just like Nvidia, when Nvidia was, let me just show you when Nvidia was like in its infancy stages. Maybe
Yeah. Even Micron had that nice bounce, when it was
Yeah, so this is the chart of Nvidia before it took off.
Ooh.
But basically, like AMD is kind of
But
like
no,
so.
Andrew Left told me he's going to 200, dude.
So basically, if we have this right, this breakout, AMD is literally like it just broke out, and we're like right here. And if it just keeps on chugging higher, like just follow the trend until
Yeah,
the
but
trend won't
okay.
work. And
Nvidia's
then
fundamentals are way better than AMD.
look at
AMD, it's
this.
just like hedge funds chasing it now because they missed the
AMD
whole
will probably
rally.
face resistance at $30, just like Nvidia once did, and then it'll continue to rise,
AMD is a
and then it'll
host.
continue to rise.
What do you think about Micron? Micron has earnings coming up. You see that David Tepper talking about Micron?
Yeah,
Gold
yeah, he
on.
was like Super Bowl, right?
Yeah. Tepper's
I
he's
kind
quite
of like,
smart guy. He sometimes comes in and buys, options. Not like when on perfect spots too, it feels like. When he tries to find a bottom, he brings in like $1 million order, $2 million order on options and just sweeps it up.
see, I
Haven't
think
seen that in a
MU will
while though.
probably, hold this resistance right here as it is pretty big. But if it doesn't, on earnings, it's either gonna go to 37 or it's either gonna go back to 45.
Yeah, I'm not
So
touching it. I'm not one of those guys that likes to gamble, even with options.
yeah,
It's just
yeah,
gambling.
definitely not
Because
MU.
one,
Definitely
you
not.
have to predict the price movement, right? And two, you have to predict like, oh, how much is it gonna move? I mean, obviously you can use different strategies and whatnot, but I'm already a degenerate gambler when it comes to options. Like playing the weeklies, waking up on a Friday morning, go like, all right, what are we gonna go all in on? But I really don't want to play earnings.
In terms of Amazon, Amazon is just down
Amazon.
there. I would just be buying. I would just be a buyer of Amazon. On the dips. I would like for it to just find a bottom here at 1866. So if the market does just have an overreaction tomorrow, and we hold this 1866 level, just
I'm
think
gonna
about
start my
going into
buy
some long
algo.
term buys and then targeting the 2040 level.
Yeah, back to a trillion market cap. I think it's like 2055 or something like that. That it gets a trillion market cap.
Netflix looks nasty.
Yeah, dude. Just because the tariffs are gonna because tariffs are coming in, everyone's gonna stop watching Netflix, right?
I
Yeah,
guess.
I do love me some Netflix though.
But on Netflix, oh, that's ugly. I don't like that. On Netflix, I would continue to buy at when it gets to 344 level, and then I'm pretty sure it's going to do something like hold that level, maybe do some fake out, and then come higher, and then break out of here, and then continue to go for these highs. So it all looks like everything's reaccumulating right now. As you can see here, the big buyers on Netflix came right there, and on that day would be quite precisely this right here, and it posted a really nice bottom there. So that's like the pivot point that I'm looking at right there, that low. So as you see here, impulse moved out, but then it came right back into there, and that's where they bought, and that's where it held. So if it keeps on holding there, I'd keep on buying there and target at least like 420, 420. I'll target 420.
420's funding secured.
Yeah, and get next year's 420 funding secured.
Okay, so I'm gonna flip it over to my channel or
Okay.
my thing.
Yeah.
We're talking Bitcoin. Oh,
So
my crypto junkies. So we did go short at 7,100 or so. One of our other videos. But what do you think is gonna happen next to it? Like it's right here around the 6,200. I feel like soon, very soon. Well, soon as in, like crypto people. Soon means like tomorrow, right? I'm talking like in a couple weeks. Okay. I mean, I'm a crypto person too, like, but not your kind of person, you know, whatever it is. But I do think,
Get to the point.
yeah, okay. So I do think the decisive move is for the breakout or breakdown, and I think it's going to break down, and I do think it's going to test that 5,800 level and ultimately break that before the end of the year. So what's your take on that? Like, yeah, Bitcoin in the shitter. I'm sorry,
Well,
excuse my language.
actually, just so you all know, I have been predicting the Bitcoin price action in our cryptocurrency focus channel. And can you put my screen on, please? Basically,
Give this guy a cookie.
we called all of these moves, everything from this,
Yeah, Bitcoin seems
this,
so predictable.
and then we sold Bitcoin and we targeted this level, and then ever since last week we were right here. We were starting to go make a leg higher to
Yeah.
6,500.
So all right,
And at
Nostradamus.
6,500, we were bold enough. Enough to sell this market, and because it was ranging and we knew it was, and to down here, and we are down here, and I am expecting Bitcoin to just
Nostradamus, tell us what's happening next.
maybe short-term retrace and see how this 6,400 6,300 level reacts, and from there expecting it to go lower to 6,100, and if 6,100 breaks, expecting a retest of that and targeting these lows at the.
All right, so let's transition over to Forex, because I know you love Forex. I'm not a fan of Forex. I'm not a fan of you Forex traders, but I'll let you do your magic.
Thank you. So basically, I'm just gonna go over. So I trade currencies primarily, and I approach them with a technical and a fundamental standpoint, also analyzing things like sentiment. But I'm just gonna go over a few things that I'm looking at today. So let's just start off with a USD CAD. On the longer horizon, the USD CAD did finish a 5-wave count lower, and I am looking for it to. I thank you. How many?
5.
Thank you. And I am looking for it to go higher. If you see here, we did break out of this previous accumulation range, and we did retest it, and we did get a nice impulse move higher, and we did retrace back into that initial move. And right now is probably one of the best times you can get in terms of risk to reward. And we are in that golden ratio area. So on Bitcoin or on USD CAD, I would look for it to. Either you're going to play the breakout of this range and buy it on the retest, or you're going to want it to go lower to this 0.86 Fibonacci around like the 1.29611 price point, which is where I have buy limit set, and you are going to want to buy there and expect it to make more highs than this and continue to go for these highs right here. So that's what I have for USD CAD. What else looks interesting?
Look at USD JPY, man.
So yeah, Euro USD looks it's also looking bullish. So that's kind of bearish for the USD CAD. But there is a lot of liquidity in this region. And if Euro USD pulls up in there and faces a lot of sellers, I can definitely see it coming down and taking these lows. And definitely that's a good move we can profit off of. So it's kind of what I'm expecting on the Euro USD. Let's continue on to this fanboy's pick for USD JPY.
Yep.
USD JPY, very, very bullish. This whole range right here is still accumulation range. If you compare this to when I went over the Dow, remember that little short-term high we had in the Dow? That's basically what is right there in the UJ. And the JPN Nikkei index, we broke out of that, right? We went like this, and then we started going higher. Expect the same exact thing to happen on USD JPY. So as you see here, we had a breakout of this mini range right here, and we retested it. So we are going to continue higher. The momentum is towards the upside, so expect it to continue higher. And on the longer horizon, expect it to. I mean, if you look at this right here, this is a bull flag, right? If you can see,
zoom in, or let's do that.
You can clearly see here how. Let me delete some of this garbage. How we have broken out of this bigger longer term bull flag, and we broke out here, faked out, and came lower, but we held this previous resistance, and now we are we're heading higher. You know, we retested, broke out, retested, and now we're gonna head higher. And longer term on this, you're gonna want to take it to, you know, up here, you know, up all the way up, all the way back up there. You know, if I pull up my famous wave count, you know, consider this wave one. We're gonna get a larger impulse third move, and then we're gonna get a retracement, and then we're gonna get a larger fifth wave move up. So that's what I'm looking at on UJ. Another way to target our highs would be, you know, we're going to target all the way up to 128. Okay. So thank me later. This is how it's going to play out.
Maybe when you're 100 years old. I'm just
By the
kidding.
time 2020 comes around, we're going to be here. And when 2020 comes around,
that's when the bull market's going to end, right?
It's when the bull market's going to end. And then we're gonna get a fallout of
and
this.
And that's when you Bitcoiners can rise up.
No, we're gonna get a fallout of this big flag. All right, you guys are welcome for this big long time frame view. We're gonna get a big impulse move out of here, and then we're gonna continue to drop all the way to 80, and we're gonna come back down here. How about that? I just told you guys
all the currencies are gonna go to zero except Bitcoin.
So that's all I have for Forex. If you guys have any questions or want me to go over any pairs next time, or if you have any new stocks you guys want us to go over or you know, analyze and give our opinion on, just please go ahead and leave those in the comment section below. We'll be glad to give our opinion. And we're just going to give our final remarks on the S&P 500.
What do you think is going to happen to the S&P overall on this? What do you think is going to happen, like in regards to tariffs? Will we get to a deal with, you know, that kind of stuff?
Honestly, I think we need a deal. Like we will get to a deal. I'm pretty sure we will.
Right, for the next leg higher.
For the next leg higher, yeah. I think China's just, I mean, I don't know what the FUD. There's a lot of news that came out like China's just gonna retaliate even harder and like that. But I'm not sure how real that news is. I mean, in terms of like trade and coming out like on top, like for the world to be better, be a better place, like we definitely need this to come out in a positive way.
Yeah. So I mean, everyone's under the impression that United States is going to win automatically. I am not under that impression. I think this could be a lot worse than people anticipate. So like, you know, when the market goes down, like right now the S&P is down $2. Like the market's totally discounting how bad this could be.
Here's the thing. If China really wants a war with the United States, I mean, if China's really fed up of buying all these U.S. government bonds, and if they really want to start something, and if they really want to cause panic in the whole system and give the chance to retaliate, then this is their opportunity to. And Trump is the perfect guy to put it on top of, because the media will rip him apart.
Yeah. But I don't think something like that extreme would happen. But I don't see an easy way out of this unless, you know, both sides, you know, come. Well, yeah, we'll see. This is gonna probably go on for quite a while. You know, the markets are gonna remain choppy, it feels like. But on the positive side, United States did come up with some type of deal with Mexico. They're working on one with Canada, so we'll see how that goes. And then probably next is going to be Europe. So yeah, I guess it's just like politically messy and all that stuff. In November, the elections come around, so we'll see how the market does then. But I feel like every dip seems like it's a buying opportunity. It's been in the past. Seems like it'll continue to be that way. But, you know, I'm not 100% sure. So what's your take on that?
This time things could be different, but, you know, every time you're not going to put all your eggs in, you know, like if you put all your eggs in every, you know, downturn in the market, you know, you'll be up, but like you're going to get one where you're going to lose.
Eventually you'll be wrong.
So make sure you hedge your bets, hedge every single bet so you don't lose. But just stay sharp.
I'm looking at like value plays and
proper risk management.
Like value plays, like J&J and stuff like that for defensive. I'm not trying to like. I have a decent amount of exposure to the market, but I've been taking some cash.
Yeah. What do you think about General Mills as a defensive play?
Yeah, I think it's worth it, but like, it just doesn't move. So
it does move. What do you mean? It moves a lot.
No, not really. Not like, dude. I come from the tech and biotech world, so General Mills doesn't move in my books.
I bought General Mills on this last dip here. It was clearly fifth wave countdown, signature move, and I bought. Yeah, it was long. Back as we were flagging right here, I got in here, and as we broke out, you know, I'm expecting this to continue to grind higher. all the way to like 60, but
Let's see. So with that, let's conclude this video. We hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure to like, subscribe, and share with your friends. And as a final thought, I just want to remind you that this is not financial advice, and anything and everything that we say in this video should not be taken as it. Anything else you want to add?
Nope. I just thank you very much for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe to this channel. We're going to be trying to come out with as much as content we possibly can to help you guys in the markets. And
Oh yeah, and also follow us on Twitter. I'll leave our Twitter handles in the description below. Until next time.
Yep.
Peace.